Today is Tuesday, April 7th, in the year 2026. This is the Zoning Board of Appeals. We're just gonna go a little bit out of order because we're waiting for our last member to arrive, so he can participate in the festivities this evening. So we'll just, first, we're gonna review and approve the minutes from March 3rd. Has anybody, everyone's seen the minutes? Anyone have any comments on it? No? Do I have a motion on the minutes?
Motion to accept the minutes?
There's a motion to accept the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. Marco, you want to just sign that? Everybody's here for one of the three petitions on our agenda tonight. There's no one here for anything else that I don't know about. Don't all speak at once? Okay. Is that? We were gonna, the administrative rules. So, I cannot remember what we discussed the last meeting on that.
So this is just an introduction for the board, just to look over it, and so this is just, you guys just reviewing it briefly, there doesn't need to be any talks about it.
Okay.
You can review it, and then at the next meeting is when we'll have our formal discussion.
Okay. So we have a set of administrative rules, for the board that have kind of been in place. I mean, I think they were in place when they created zoning in the town in the 1980s. I'm not sure they've ever been changed since then. Yeah.
2003.
Well, they were I was just getting on the board, I don't remember if they changed them then or not, but we need to review them and they need to get, so between now and the next meeting, I think what we need to do is, each of us need to review the administrative rules, and then we may need to get town council to help us just rewrite them or correct them, some of them, because they're a little bit out of order. Some of the rules that are in there, some of the rules I don't think that we really need, especially if there's, when there's some of the big, petitions that come in front of us. Hey, there he is.
Folks, I apologize.
It's coming out of your pay.
I was in the middle of my taxes and I looked up and I'm like, how is it 7 o'clock?
I only have two now. You give some of mine?
I don't think so.
Oh, you know what, maybe these are attached together. All right, we're ready to go. So, we'll call, James and Linda Petro, 39 Smith Road.
Hi, how are you doing? I'm Chris Pietro.
Good.
I'm Jim.
So you were here last time.
Yes.
I think the last time we were here, we extended you out. You guys were gonna make some changes to the plans. You were talking to the building inspector, zoning enforcement officer. We had suggested you make a couple of changes. Those changes have been made?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, you remember these?
Yeah.
Jason? Mr. Meskis, Mr. Zoning Enforcement Officer, the changes that we asked them to make in the plan, they were all made to your satisfaction?
So I met with Mark, their contractor, discussed what I felt that the board may be looking for.
Yeah,
Suggested some things, maybe a change in the size of the garage,
yeah,
and that if they put an appropriate firewall and fire rated doors in between, then that would lessen the size of the ADU.
yeah,
The ADU size as presented here complies with the 1,250 square feet.
okay,
By dividing the building, leaving the house as it is, yes, it does have access, but because this is a rated doorway, these are separate.
considered
dwellings.
separate dwelling units now.
Okay, the remaining fact is that the applicant really prefers The two-car garage, which is the 400 and some square feet over the allowance.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna leave it up to them to present their case as whether or not they have a hardship or they have an alternate plan, for something different with the garage.
okay.
Good evening, board members, thank you again. My name is Mark Lindblom. Again, so from meeting with Curtis and taking the information you guys gave us last time, again, the fire-rated walls, the extra doors, the extra egress, another egress coming out the front, everything on that has been done, and Curtis has seen that. The homeowner's request still is if for that location on Smith Road with the size of the other properties and the fact that no neighbors had any complaints, the neighbor to the left of them, which would be the only ones that would be visible, on this side, you're 1,000+ feet away from any neighbors, and in the front, you're quite a distance from any other neighbors. They would prefer to have a two-car garage still, if feasible, so that for future use, if mobility issues continue, they can have a prefabricated aluminum ramp that would get them access up to the house, into the main first floor, so that everything else is gonna be on the first floor. The main part of their house where they enter now is they come up 2 steps, and then they're into the main portion of their house, and then all the other living quarters, the secondaries are all upstairs. So they would like to be able to keep everything on the first floor. So their primary request, without having to then do more excavation, more land disturbance of putting a secondary 2-car garage off on the side, they would prefer, if they meet all of the other requirements, putting in the fire break doors, taking off that square footage, and to see if that would be something that you would approve of. So, could I answer any questions on that?
The garage is right now,
Yes,
to the left of the front of the house there on that side.
yes.
Is there a well on that side? Where's the septic system?
Well is over here.
Yeah,
Septic system is right about here, so it would be very difficult to be able to do that with the location of where the septic system is. So your septic system's right around here in the front of the existing house.
how far from the, do I have the thing, how far in the setback on that side are you from the house?
The minimum requirement is 15 feet. And
Yeah.
I think the property would certainly be at least 30, if not more, feet to the sideline.
Sorry, I just didn't have that specific question in my mind, so I didn't have that answer, sorry about that.
Well, I think my question, if it's the same as Frank's, is there room for a detached garage over there? And it sounds like there may not be.
No, there is room for a detached garage, you're just gonna have to sit there and have everything, it's just one additional added expense. The way how everything's designed right now, it kinda ties right in with everything while you look at it, it ties in. It would tie in nicely, you're not even gonna be able to see it from the road.
Thi-
Um,
This whole lot, is it all flat?
Flattish. So to do another ADU in terms of having the over-under scenario to shorten that is gonna make it's not gonna go in sync with the rest of the neighborhood or with the house. If you just shrink that up and put an undercar garage and then the over living space would not go with the character of the house. That's why, again, they're trying to see if they could get the okay for the additional square footage
So
on that.
there's no particular hardship.
So,
The hardship would be, she would like to have a 2-car garage attached to the house. She's having mobility issues. She would like to be able to pull in.
The size and the shape of this lot, is it different than any other size and shape of the lot and the neighbors?
No, they're pretty much all big, flat properties. They're, so again, it's not like it would be one of your waterfront lots where
Well,
you have a.
like, then, are all the other lots square lots in this road?
When I pulled up the deed restriction, there should be a plot plan that you guys all have,
Yeah, I have that, I'm looking at that.
and they're all like,
Cause it's not really a perfectly square lot.
correct.
So on that, I don't know which is more.
I can show you the lots if you need me to. It should be highlighted. Should be a little yellow highlighter.
You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah,
I believe he does.
they don't.
If you're looking at the front of that lot, so if you're looking at this lot right here. It's not two lots though, this is one lot, isn't it?
Looks like it was. It's hard to tell.
It's got a proposed road, a paper road on the other side.
Which has been sold.
And the existing house has a garage, two-car
You have any
garage.
wetlands in the back?
In the far back,
Yeah.
in the back they do, yes, sir.
If you were to put a detached garage, would you be within the 100-foot buffer zone, you think?
It'd be real close, I doubt it. That's why, again, they're really trying to push
Yeah,
for
it's
this,
two hundred
sir.
and sixty feet
Gentlemen?
from here to here.
Yeah, that's
That's how
yeah,
big the
wetlands, yeah.
That's how big it is.
Yeah, depends on the big wetlands are, yeah.
They had it surveyed before, and that's like I said, there are wetlands back there, so you would,
No, you wanna-
from the road with these plans.
I mean, it's a different shaped lot than the other lots, but it's bigger, and it's bigger than some of the other lots on that same side of the road.
It's a lot bigger.
Yeah. The thing is that if you were looking at this, I mean, you can't really put, you know, on the right side, you're not going anywhere else, so it's either you're gonna go,
The garage on the opposite side of the house.
well, you can't really, I mean, there's already a garage there, isn't there?
Wetlands,
Yes.
in,
Yeah.
wetlands in the back.
There's wetlands in the back.
And the septic's in the front.
Septic's in the front, so you have a 60 feet of, how big is the garage you're proposing right now?
The garage square footage on this is 564 square feet, sir.
So how, what are the dimensions with?
Dimensions on this is 23.6 by 24.
So you're asking, I mean, everything else is pretty much all set.
Yes, sir.
So, to grant a variance, we would need some sort of hardship to do that.
The hardship I'm trying not to do is disturb more land and get closer to the wetlands, because I'd have to go further back on their property in order to.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that's why I was asking the question. Due to the shape, topography, something of that nature, the board could, you know, if we determine that there's something that's due, you know, unique shape, wetlands, that's why I was asking where the well was, where the septic system was.
The well is in the back.
Yeah,
The well
so,
is right here,
right,
and the septic's right about here.
right.
There's a stone wall with again, then you have the garage, the driveway, and then you have the neighbor's lot, and then the wetlands start back here. So,
Yeah, the only place to put the garage is gonna be in the back,
Right, and you're gonna do a detached garage,
and it's
yeah.
gonna
for a
get,
couple that is, again, respectfully, reaching their eighties, that's why, again, we're trying
Yeah.
to do this with mobility issues.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but the thing we have to consider on something like that is that they may not own this house in 10 years, and that garage is gonna be there more than 10 years.
you know, I don't think their age creates a hardship.
Yeah,
that we can-
that's,
That we can
yeah,
use.
so that's, you know, that's what I'm looking at.
We're sympathetic to it, but
We've met the other, from having meetings with Curtis, I've met the other requirements that you, that the board has requested.
I think
Well,
we
we could
could,
probably say that is due to the side, the angle of the side
yeah,
line and the potential of wetlands in the rear that, would create a hardship for them to put a detached garage in. It's more beneficial to have the garage in this spot.
Because of the well, because of the septic.
You could add in the consistency of the neighborhood, maintaining what looks like the appearance of one continuous structure
Yeah.
versus separate structures.
It would be more harmonious in the neighborhood if this was attached versus detached.
Right.
Um, Yeah, so I'm okay with that.
It's 450 square feet.
It's just an increase of 450 square feet above, there's nothing else we need to grant the variance, it meets all the other requirements for an ADU, correct?
Correct.
To the new ADU.
To the new ADU, so all we're really asking for is about 400 square feet, above with the garage and the footprint as a variance, and that's it, correct, Kurt?
Yes.
Alright. What do you think?
I mean, I'm okay with it, we just gotta figure out how to frame it.
Agreed.
And I think that's,
And I think that there's a potential of wetlands in the back area for a detached garage. It will not be harmonious with the rest of the neighborhood to add a detached garage. Well, it would be less harmonious, not necessarily not harmonious, because we really don't. You know, given the position of wells and septic systems or whatever, all you could do is on the side, going towards the back to meet all the other setback requirements, and then you have a problem with the possible wetland areas.
make a motion, or should we close it, or?
I think we should close, we already called all the police and fire and all that, didn't we? Did we do all that stuff?
No.
already? Yeah,
Well,
At the last meeting.
the last meeting, I don't have to do it again. Alright, so we wanna, we have any other questions for the petitioner?
No, I'll make a
Appreciate
motion, close the
You-
public.
Did you have another comment?
I was saying thank you. That's
Oh,
all.
okay.
I know you have to vote still.
I'll make a motion, close the public.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to grant a variance for 400 square feet plus or minus according to the plan submitted, the revised plan that was submitted?
It's 450, right?
'Cause I think it's just 400, isn't it?
Want to get
It's 400.
I make a motion to grant the variance based on the plan submitted for 450 feet plus or minus?
400.
400 feet plus or minus, for the square footage over and above the allowed use
For the garage.
for the garage, with the hardship being the septic in the front, potential wetlands in the rear, and the shape and angle of the side lot, meaning there's no real place to put a detached garage to meet their needs.
Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So you have 20 days. What happens is that we'll submit the approval to the town clerk. Once it's submitted to the town clerk, there's a 20-day appeal period. Once the 20 days is up, they'll let you know, you're gonna take that variance, you're gonna bring it to the registry of deeds in Worcester, you're gonna record the whole variance, and then go back to see Kurt for building permits and whatever you need to do.
Understood.
My recommendation is probably to get them sooner rather than later.
I think I'll jump on it right away. So,
Thank you.
Good luck. All right, good luck, gentlemen.
Appreciate your time.
No problem. Okay, next on the agenda, Nelson Burlingame, 186 Burlingame Road.
Good evening, I'm Nelson Burlingame, on 186 Burlingame Road.
So, Mr. Burlingame, let us know, I think you're doing an appeal from a zoning opinion letter?
Yes.
So, you wanna give us the rundown on findings and whether or not we should uphold or overturn the zoning enforcement officer's letter to you?
Okay, actually, I thought I was all set from years ago. And
Yeah.
If you look at the outline, well, my outline, I've got it, I've got number one, the zoning enforcement letter from Curtis.
Yeah.
And he says it's an accessory structure, I'm saying it's not an accessory structure. It's a large garage, it's not, it has nothing to do with the house. It's got 14 by 14 foot doors, it's 78 feet long, 40 feet long. I put my excavators in it, dump trucks, everything for years and years and years before, zoning, I had it, the trucks and stuff. And, to me, the big problem is he's calling it accessory, I'm saying it's not accessory, it's a commercial garage, it's been a commercial garage right along. And his determination letters is he calls it an accessory structure. And, I get that's not allowed, but a pre-existing non-conforming building is allowed in an agricultural area. In 1998, and I've got all this paperwork, and I gave it to you guys to verify what I was saying. I got a decision from the zoning officer at that time, Robert Gauthier. He wrote the violation letter, and then like a week later, he gave me his opinion, and his opinion was, it was approved as a business use. And then, I've got certificates of compliance from 99. I just listed the section of, the bylaws back then. I've always had a current business certificate, and I've got one right now, it's number 2413, expires in 2026. But I've got them right along with the town hall, so there'd be no doubt, because I know sooner, I knew it was pre-existing non-conforming. Section 40A, Section 6 of zoning, Mass General Law, it allows for pre-existing non-conforming use and structures, which is both the use and the structure. And even if I didn't have all this stuff, which I do, and I've got that in those pages too, where enforcement of zoning regulations is a 6-year exemption upon receipt of permits, and I got a permit for everything I did in that building. And even if you didn't get a permit, there's a 10-year exemption, and that should follow too, both of them actually. I also included insurance declaration page that I have that says it's a commercial property, that's what I'm insuring it as, what I've been insuring it as for the last, I don't know, whatever years, a lot of years. And the legal definition of accessory building, if you look up the one from the town, it says, it's gotta be subordinate to the main use. Well, it's not subordinate, again, the reasoning being is it's, no one would ever have a garage that big with that type of doors to put their car or truck or whatever in. So I disagree with Kurt. I just think that his decision isn't quite right.
So was this triggered, have you sold that, did you split the lot, is you?
I split the lot, yes.
All right, so you sold, you don't own,
I don't own the house.
you still own the garage?
I still own the garage. And there's a detached garage with the house too, but that went with the house. A small garage.
Okay. When you subdivided the lots into two lots and sold the main house off, both of them conform to zoning as it is now?
Yes.
Okay. So when you continue, so are you just storing vehicles there? Are you actually running the business?
I have NBC Construction. I've built houses up in Turtle Hill recently. I'm an active in NBC Construction Incorporated, yes.
Right, but in terms of the overall business, is it this, so you can, do you just store your equipment there, or or is it that you're active, like you have crews show up at that house to go to work in the morning, or?
At time I did.
Yeah,
Right now, I sub everything out, but I still have dump trucks, I still have
Yeah.
excavators, I still have bulldozers, I still have all that stuff. So, I mean, I use it, for that, repairs,
When was the lot subdivided?
recently, like last year. I mean, the date's on that paper somewhere.
It says September 5th, 2025,
Okay.
in the letter from Kurt, looks like. Yeah. I think it would make sense to hear from Kurt, probably.
do you guys have questions for Mr. Burlingame?
I'm gonna wait till you hear a little more.
Okay.
Touchy subject with me, and the way our town deals with businesses and on our home properties.
Okay.
So, too many stepping stones for us to trip over just because we're trying to run a business out of our house in this town. That's kinda wrong.
All right.
That's my opinion.
Okay, so you guys wanna hear from the zoning enforcement officer, Ms. Domeskis?
Evening, Kurt Meskis, Building Commissioner, Zoning Enforcement Officer. Some handouts.
Oh, yeah.
So a couple of things I wanna say right off front. Mr. Burlingame is a fellow building official and zoning enforcement officer, and I've known him for a number of years, and this is a procedural issue where I have an opinion and he has a differing opinion, and we're here before the board. The issue as I see here is, first off, the 6 and 10-year statute of limitations that Mr. Burlingame spoke of speaks to structures. It does not speak to uses. So a use variance or a use violation goes on forever. A building setback issue does not. It is sunsetted after 10 years. If it's not been permitted in 6 years if it has been.
That's just enforcement of those.
Right.
Right.
This property, as outlined in blue, was all one parcel. Mr. Burlingame had his principal dwelling here, he had an accessory garage here for his house. And in about 1987, a structure was built here as a garage. And around 2000, that building burnt, and I granted a permit for that building to
I
be
remember, yeah.
reconstructed.
That's what I thought, yeah, I remember that.
So this was all one parcel. Mr. Burlingame is entitled to have a home occupation, and accessory uses to his home occupation were pretty broad about that interpretation in Charlton. We have numbers of people that have excavators and machine shops and all that sort of thing. Certainly, it was an accessory building at that time. But once he sold this parcel off with the house and its subsequent garage, this building became a principal use. So I'm calling this a principal use. And the only thing that I can interpret this as is a principal use is a commercial motor vehicle garage. There is no thing like that. Mr. Burlingame asked me if he could rent the facility to a plumber, and that's what started giving me agita. Mr. Burlingame can continue to use this building, the town of Charlton, as himself. Town of Charlton is not really interested in persecuting Mr. Burlingame for playing with his toys in his garage, unless I have a complaint from the neighbors, and we would have to adjudicate that. But when Mr. Burlingame comes to me and says, I want to rent this as a commercial vehicle building, that's where we have the problem. Okay? So yes, Mr. Burlingame got a letter from Mr. Gothy, a previous person who held this position in 2000, that said this was a certificate of compliance, and the purpose of the use was residential. Commercial garage, is that residential? No, I don't think that's residential.
Where did you see residential? Because I've got that. I mean,
So, here we are. You know, I'm looking to not have
yeah,
to justify.
Could I see that again? 'Cause like she said, that could be the apartment. I think that is the apartment.
No, it says, garage, it says, let me see.
Because the garage is bigger. I've got another one for the garage. It's in their thing.
Oh, I
Just-
saw that too.
yeah. So that is residential. It's a small garage.
I don't see where it says.
Well, I only know because of the
Oh,
size.
right here, construction, 32 by 40 garage.
The garage is, it's 40 by 80, 78,
Okay, is this other garage 32 by 40?
roughly, yeah.
Yeah. All right, my mistake, sir. But that's the issue. The issue is that the town of Charlton, while trying to be business friendly, has a residential zone that's intended for residential purposes. And if this board so chooses to overturn me, that's fine. When the neighbors come to me and say, there's this big business running out of there, I can say, the zoning board of appeals said it was fine. But the issue I have is that it was all fine until it was cut off and sold off separately. Now we have a business use in a residential zone.
And the reason it was fine before was because it was an accessory building, because it was on the same lot as a residence.
So you're telling me that's residential and not agricultural?
Well, agricultural and residential are interchangeable.
Okay, well, to me, it's a difference, but,
Well, I mean, we don't really have
You
an
know.
ours residential zone.
yeah, yeah.
I know they tried to change the name at one point, but I don't know if,
So I did recommend to the planning board, and the planning board did put forth a number of years ago a change to call it R60, because the problem with calling it agricultural is I had numbers of people saying, oh, I can only farm there, and it's like,
Right.
no, you can do what it says in the use table under
Right.
A. But there was a farming family that said, you know, and I was away, I couldn't attend town meeting, and
I think I was at that town meeting and it was
you
with
know,
back.
said, what, you're stopping farming? No, we didn't change the uses in the
Right.
use table, we just were
Yeah.
changing the title.
I know there was some back and forth on that, in that meeting, Mr. Burlingame.
Yeah, Jason said that, I heard him say, you know, so it's accessory because it, for whatever reason, I'm saying it's never been accessory. And the big difference between me and everybody else is, this was before zoning, this wasn't after zoning. I was the first one on the road, there was never any houses there. It definitely is pre-existing non-conforming use, I mean, there's no doubt about it. And everybody, you know, I just don't want you to overlook that, this case is different than most cases. You know, it's there, I mean, I didn't, you know, I mean, what am I supposed to do? It's there, and even personally, I feel if I wanna rent it, as long as it isn't more detrimental to the area than what's there, I should be able to rent it. What happened is, my wife died. When my wife died, I remarried. When I remarried, I've got a couple places now that I can use, but the building's up, and obviously, I wouldn't wanna just, it's a beautiful building, you can see it in the pictures. I mean, I
Yeah.
have to do something with the building.
Right, right.
I got another question. If a dwelling were to be built there, would that then make it allowable as an accessory building?
Then the
So
garage.
there's a space above, and I suggested to Mr. Burlingame, if there was be a residence created up there, then
Is it still a commercial building then? Because what am I gonna do with the would you live with there with 14-foot, doors there? Why would you wanna do that?
If I was a plumber,
No one would.
I don't know.
You could practice on the second floor.
All I'm saying is it existing, why would I wanna change it really? It's pre-existing non-conforming.
So are we?
So I think if I may, to the board, the decisions that the board could make is that it was and is a pre-existing non-conforming commercial garage from 1987 forward. And it just happened to be on the same parcel as the house. Or the board could say, no, it's a new commercial use because it's been separated from the principal lot. And that, the zoning enforcement officer is correct, that it is not allowed to continue as a commercial garage because it's a use that can be extinguished. And, you know, Mr. Burlingame and I can sit in the room and we can have lots of fun together because we've done this, and this is, you know, me doing my job, you know, and telling Mr. Burlingame, I have an opinion, and if you don't like my opinion, come before this board, we'll adjudicate it before this board, and then we'll shake hands and go home.
So I think we have to, in my mind, we have to make a determination on whether or not, that now that it's separated, was it originally an accessory use or a principal use? And is the use, is there any question that it was pre-existing non-conforming? There's no question to that the structure is a pre-existing non-conforming structure and use. I mean, obviously the house, the garage burnt and it was rebuilt properly, that's not an issue.
That's not an issue, so.
Yeah,
My understanding from talking to the assessor's record, it was originally constructed in 1987. Comprehensive zoning came into play in Charlton in May of 1987.
it was built
I,
right in that time frame.
right in that timeframe, so
Yeah.
Mr. Burlingame should, you know, provide evidence that it was built either before May of 1987, permitted before 1987, and was a commercial garage before 1987. And that it's been in continuous use as a commercial garage, and the board decides that it's allowed because that the lot reconfiguration has
if he-
nothing to do with the use.
If he pulled permits on that in 1987, wouldn't that be enough evidence to say that it either conformed or it was prior to zoning?
I have
Was
not seen
it, is
any
the tax
evidence of what-
assessor gonna go ahead and charge before the building's built or after? So if it's already on that year, then it would already had to been done.
The tax years are weird though.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so like in 1987, it's actually the 1988 tax year.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Could I say one more thing?
Yeah,
When you look up definitions, and I'm talking about the here and now definitions,
right.
which I don't really like to do, because I think it should really be the definitions from that year, but anyways, I looked it up. It says land use which is subordinate or incidental to a prominent or main use. Again, I'm gonna say, it's not subordinate or incidental if it's that big to a house. A person, if you own, any of you people own a house and you built the garage, you wouldn't build the garage that big for your car, or for your lawnmower, or for your go-kart, or whatever. So it's not incidental in your definitions, in my opinion.
Right, right. And we've had people that in the past, have a 1,900 square foot house and they're proposing to build like a 25,000 square foot
Yeah.
garage.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
it's a little bit, that's not accessory.
But that's after, it was after the zoning too.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't,
Okay.
I'm not, I think we need to look at, do you have an opinion? Do you have any questions or anything, Rob?
I mean, the pre-existing part, even though the use hasn't changed, even though they separated the lots in my mind, but, that's the only part I feel on that situation.
Yeah, I mean, you guys,
So it all came up when the lot was split, and now that's the issue. If there was a house on the property, then it could be
I think
accessory, right?
separating the house away from that, it changed the use of the house more or less than changing the use of the garage. That's just,
well, Nelson, what is the use right now, and that's why I was asking you the question. The use right now are you using it to store equipment and materials for different jobs? It's not like an active office. Do you run your office out of that building?
I don't run the office out of it, but I do have heat in there, I do fix stuff on there.
Okay, but that's not, it's not, I'm just trying to think about other,
who's in the garage now? Are you renting it out to someone now, or is it
No.
just your stuff now?
Cause I talked to Kurt about it, and
So you just
after he gave me his
discussed it.
opinion, yeah, my stuff is in it right now.
Yeah, so you just
Right.
discussed putting a plumber in there. It's not like you put a plumber in there
Right.
and
So
changed
you're-
anything you were
you're-
doing.
Yeah, and you've been using it that way for since, I mean, when you had this building, did you at some point have an office in there that you were running your entire business out of that garage at some point?
I never really had an office in there, I usually ran it out of my truck basically, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Phone, cell phone.
I believe the application says its intention is to rent or sell it and not to maintain it.
right. Well, that's the thing is if we say,
Right, I
the
can't
use,
sell
that's
it.
why I'm asking what the use is right now, what the use has been consistent over the years. Cause he can rent it or sell it, and if he does rent it or sell it, and we say, oh yeah, you can run it as a commercial use under this, then anyone can run it as a commercial use under that. And so, maybe,
So will we decide? Yeah, it's,
well, that's what,
plays
that's what
forward
we're
with the
here.
property, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how the law looks at what happens when you split the lot based on what
Yeah.
we're looking at though.
Mr. Metzger?
So if I were to agree, okay?
Yeah.
I don't. but
Right.
That's why we're here. Is if Mr. Burlingame in 1987 or before was operating this as Nelson Burlingame Construction or NBC Construction continuously through now,
Right,
okay? That's a pre-existing non-conforming use and it can continue until it's been abandoned for more than 2 years.
right,
So, Mr. Burlingame sold the business to his cousin. Doesn't matter who he sold it to, right?
Yeah.
The business or the commercial garage use is still a continuation
of that existing use.
Pre-existing non-conformity.
Exactly.
If for some reason it went vacant for 2 or 3 years, now the question becomes,
Has it been abandoned?
has it been abandoned? And then the preponderance would be for whoever was asking my opinion at that time was, is this use been abandoned?
Right.
So if you find that it's a continuation of a pre-existing nonconformity from back in 1987, it happened to have a fire, that has nothing to do with it.
No,
It was
it doesn't.
rebuilt within the 2-year
Period,
time
yeah.
period. The use was not, has not been abandoned, I can tell.
But we can also make the determination of what that use is in terms of our appeal as well. I don't think that we necessarily have to have a straight up and down. We can say, you've determined that the use is X, Mr. Burlingame may determine that the use is Y, and we may say, no, it's neither of them. Or we can say it's one of them or not, and then he can continue that use or not continue that use. But I see what you're saying is that if we make a determination that it is okay to use it as a principal use, then anybody can be a principal use. And then we can have any kind of business in there for what's allowed as a commercial use, because it's pre-existing. That's why I wanted to find that's why I wanna look exactly what we're talking about in terms of the overall use, and what you've considered it as.
I, in my opinion, say it's a commercial motor vehicle garage and it's not allowed. So what happens if there's a change of use? Well, a change of use would be from one use category to another use category in the zoning table.
Right.
Okay, now we would be back before the zoning, or someone could be back before the zoning board of appeals.
Yeah,
The change of use is no more detrimental to the neighborhood,
right,
right? That would be a special permit issue that I was running a retail store and now I wanna have a commercial motor vehicle garage.
right, yeah.
That would be the test at that point in time.
Yeah.
But if this board was to find, as I've said before, Mr. Burlingame would like you to find, is that this is a pre-existing non-conforming commercial use and it can continue forever unless it's abandoned for a period of 2
Right.
years or more.
And like Kurt said, we get along actually pretty good. We get along really good. And, I guess my question to you right now is, if, say I did sell it to a plumber, would you consider that a change of use? And if anything, I think you're gonna say it's less detrimental, it's not really a change of use, but go ahead.
I think I would have to look at the book that I didn't bring with me, and the only other thing I can think of off the top of my head is the contractor storage yard, but is that any different than you being
Right.
a contractor
Right.
storage yard? And I think those two
Yeah.
uses fall within the same, part of the use table, Nelson, so.
Yeah, well, I do too.
I would like to look at this a little bit more before I make any kind of further decisions. I don't know what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it like, if I were living in those houses next to it, would I want a commercial repair garage across the street from me?
Yeah,
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
If you knew it was there, and there's no houses there, you built your house there, would you have built your house and bought it there, knowing it was there? So you gotta, there's two sides to every story. I mean, what do I do with it now?
Been there the whole time.
Right, it's,
right, yeah.
it's been there.
It's, well, we've had that happen too.
It has been there, but it's been there, but what I'm thinking is it's been there as storage. Somebody could take this and
When
open
you,
a
when you say
mechanic shop.
storage, that's not correct.
Well, personal,
You don't know me, but I had triaxles Peterbilt, I had Mack trucks,
Heavy
I
equipment
had a
and stuff
three
like that.
fifteen CL excavator. I mean, this isn't storage.
but it's not a commercial repair shop.
Yeah, it is.
It is for one company, but it's
Right.
not for high volume.
Right,
That's what I was thinking.
okay.
And I don't, so personally, I don't love it, but I don't know what it means when you split it up. Do you lose that or not?
No, I need to look at this a little bit more closely, I think, before I would make a decision one way or the other. About what the use is, what is the impact of him subdividing the lot, away from, is there an impact that's gonna impact does that somehow change if it's a pre-existing non-conforming use? I mean, I'm kind of
It's
under the
a lot of
operation that it
info-
is.
It's a lot of information to read through
Yeah,
and understand, and it's for him
I
to
mean,
sell it or rent it now, so it's not for him personally any longer. So
right.
What he's doing is, it's for whoever comes next.
It's so he can sell it and get his money back, or,
I'd like to
profit.
continue this to the next meeting and look at the use a little bit more in depth.
I would appreciate that. I would
Marco,
get a chance to read through it.
just so you know that in order to overturn a decision of the zoning enforcement officer, you need a 4/5 vote of the board.
I mean, I'm fine with you guys taking more time. I think I know where I stand on it, but
Rob?
I'm fine with the time. I'm pretty much set where I'm at.
Okay. I would like to read it through a little bit more. I may have some more questions, Mr. Burlingame. When are we gonna do our next meeting?
We don't have one currently scheduled. These are the only applications in front of us.
What kind of dates are we looking at?
Any Tuesday. Their decision needs to be made before June 24th.
Okay. What are you guys looking at for availability?
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I'm open.
I don't leave my house anymore, so. I just got a new job, I work from home now.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, so the good news is I'm saving a lot of gas.
Good timing.
Perfect timing.
It was perfect timing, you're absolutely right.
I could do May 5th.
I'm not available.
No?
That's the fourth, no, that's the
May the
fourth.
4th be with you.
The
The
fourth.
5th is my birthday.
Oh, is it?
Oh.
Yeah, we don't wanna do that.
I'm
We don't
20
wanna
I will
make-
not be here.
I'm 20 days later.
4/5's gotta be here.
All
Do you
right.
wanna do the end of April?
Well, hell, that's what I was looking at. What about the,
I would just suggest that if I can, that the board stretch it out a little bit, only because I've been talking to some other people that may put in an application. In the
Oh.
status quo, I'm not, doing any enforcement action against Mr. Burlingame.
No.
He asked for an opinion, we're not in
Right, we're not
a
in that.
position that.
How about the 12th?
yeah, so let's,
I can't do May 12th.
I can't do the 12th.
My wife's having knee surgery that day.
I can do the 19th.
May 19th?
May 19th, does that work?
Sure.
I'm coming from the dentist, so I might talk funny, that's about it.
That's all right.
Okay, the 19th.
All right, does someone wanna make a motion to continue this until May 19th? In the meantime, we're gonna review the proposed use as, the existing use as it is now, and to make a determination on the 19th on whether or not.
So are you gonna ask the question to town council, if dividing that lot up actually does make a difference? Cause the way I read it, it says, if you're making it more detrimental or whatever, and I'm not so sure that dividing that lot up makes a difference. I didn't think
I
it did, cause
I
if it
don't-
did, I would've been before you.
I think
before.
I think it only makes a difference in terms of how the opinion letter characterizes as from a principal to an accessory use. I don't think there's any issue with subdividing the lots at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I asked you, they both conforming lots, it's not like you put this on a non-conforming lot, like you have everything you need on both those lots. I don't think that's necessarily an issue at all, the opinion letter says that with it being a part of a larger lot, that the principal use was considered as the residential structure, and this was considered an accessory to do that. The question would be whether or not, as the subdivision, was it a principal use or was it an accessory use? And, and how we looked at that after the subdivision, that's the only thing I would be concerned about. I don't think there's any issue with the subdivision at all.
Okay.
I mean, you can subdivide whatever you, that, doesn't, yeah, I don't think that's an issue at all.
Or subdividing it out, even though that's the only building on the lot, how can it be an accessory to it?
Well, that's what I think Kurt's point is that as long as it was part of a residential structure, it was a principal, it was considered an accessory regardless of its size.
Yeah.
And Mr. Burlingame's
Well, they
point
were
is that
they were
it's,
arguing
that
the
it's such a
difference
large
between-
size that it was its own principal use
Yeah.
anyways, all right, and the fact that it's subdivided out shouldn't make any difference at all.
Yeah, and then separating the lot without the house on the lot
Yeah,
makes it to where, you know, the accessory part almost is null and void too.
right.
So now it's primary.
Because
Well,
it's a
Well,
private-
the
well,
other- but the other
Mr.
thing too-
Kurt's saying that it was, Kurt's saying is it doesn't make a difference how big it was.
Yeah.
Is it because it was attached to a residential structure was on the same
Right.
lot? It was considered an accessory use to the residential use,
Yeah,
all right? Mr. Burlingame's argument is because of the way it is, it didn't make any difference that it was on a contiguous lot with the residential structure.
right.
It was by itself its own principal use all along, and we should treat it as such.
If you read the zoning officer's
Yeah.
letter from, whatever it is, 98,
Yeah,
he says that for my employees and everything else, so it's clearly that he said the use was an accessory to the main house. I mean, I think it's clear. I
right,
think it's crystal clear personally, because of those, you gotta read those two letters.
yeah,
and
we'll go
everything,
back
'cause
through it.
They're pretty, that documentation pretty much
Yeah.
really zeroes in, and tells everything. I think it
I
makes
would
it really
appreciate
clear.
getting a chance to read it through and then
Yeah.
check with the.
Yeah,
I read them while you guys were doing the first.
I'll make a motion, to continue, to, May, 19th, thank you.
the second on the motion,
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr.
Thank
Burlingame, we'll see you on the 19th.
Thank you.
Structure's been there forever. Been there my whole life.
Yeah.
I remember when it burned.
Last, 48 Stevens Park Road. Dimitri, I apologize for not being able to pronounce your last name. Yeah, yeah, just hand it
There's
to her.
multiple copies of the site plan, the other ones are individual.
Can you give one copy to her so we have it for the file?
There's a whole bunch of
There's two things in it.
Yeah.
One's in color. In living color.
I think it's just. Okay.
That's it.
Oh, another Lexus.
I think we already just did something on this. So, gentlemen, you wanna just state your name for the record, and, what you are proposing to do and why we should grant you, I think we're granting you additional relief, aren't we?
Yes. So,
Name,
name,
they have to be for the record.
my name is Dmitry.
Okay,
Dmitry Mashkovsky,
okay,
Zachary Tsikhotsky.
yeah,
Philip Burdick,
okay. So we granted a variance and a special permit last September for you
I
guys,
I
right?
believe that there's different members on the board, so if you wanna sort of review where we were in terms of that from last year, we filed a petition, there was a meeting in July, there was not a quorum, so I think we came back in August, and we were granted a variance based on, this is an existing cottage we're basically completely renovating, almost rebuilding. It's located on the lake on Stephen Parks Road. It's a non-conforming lot. Last August, we were granted a special permit because of lot size.
Okay,
And, and that's been filed in Worcester at the Registry of Deeds. We were also granted relief on the basis that the existing building did not comply with the current zoning requirements for side yard requirement and for front yard setback. And when we started, the first thing we did was we took because of the extent of the construction that we found, based on the condition of the building, over the period of the fall, we basically went from compliance with the previous code to compliance with the new code, with the new building code. Once we were granted a permit, we started construction in January. We had removed the roof. We found that the wall studs were not in good condition, so we decided we're gonna replace those. We started to take part of the floor system, and we found that the front right-hand corner, which is the southeast corner of the building, was constructed without any significant foundation. There was one block at the corner, and the framing was basically on the dirt, sitting on that block. What we had called for in the drawings, because we are gonna finish the basement, and part of the relief that we were granted was to expand the sides of the side that faces the lake, and the two corners, which were to be expanded at the same setback as what was shown, or what existed with the original building. So we weren't going any further into the side yard setback, but we were extending the building toward the lake. We're well within the setback requirements for rear yard. So when we started to take the building apart, we found that the corner, instead of being able to buttress the existing foundation, basically there was no foundation to buttress. So we, and then revised the drawings to show a new concrete foundation in place of, in the same line of the existing building, but in place of being able to buttress an existing foundation, which we found not to be there, So the zoning enforcement officer, building inspector, said that we required to seek a new variance. We're not really clear, because we do have a variance for the setback, and we're not changing any of the dimensions of the building. They're gonna remain the same. That's the 8.5 by 11s that are stapled together show the existing infrastructure. For those who are new members of the board, there's a copy of the survey as well. But if you remember from last summer, that was the variance that we were granted. So we're not exactly certain as to what the scope of the new variance or the additional variance would be, other than, obviously the basement's gonna be a couple of feet bigger underneath the house, but the actual dimensions of the house will not change.
Out of the plans that you've submitted with this application, which ones are the original? These are all new plans based upon your new findings. These aren't any of the
The
ones that
part
we grant.
on the colored plan, the part that's circled, you can see the circles on the side yard and the front yard, that's the part of the foundation that would change. The dimensions don't change. There's one site plan copy there, which is highlighted in yellow, which also indicates that same area where we're basically, instead of buttressing or repairing the existing foundation, we're proposing a new foundation.
Yeah, you don't have the file from the last one, do you?
I can grab it.
You guys have any questions right now? You guys were all on the board last summer, weren't you?
But
I don't
missed
remember
it.
if I was
I
here.
missed this
I may
one.
not have been here, I don't know. Might have been the one meeting I missed
Oh,
when I was away.
Depends on what it was.
It's been too many for me to remember.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't remember it. I can't remember.
dropping like
Oh,
flies.
10 years, they just
I
mushed
wasn't
together.
here for this one.
what's sad is that it occurred that the comprehensive zoning went into effect in 1987.
one's dated.
I'm the only third chair in the history of the town. Never been here too long.
April 1, huh?
You wanna hear from, Mr. Meskis?
Yes.
Good evening, Kurt Meskis, Building Commissioner, Zoning Enforcement Officer.
Do what?
Call forwards on the last one.
You did the first one.
First one we've done the meeting before. This one we're gonna continue, so I'm not doing it until the actual one.
Gotcha.
So as the applicant described, we did, and they did seek relief for a special permit to change, alter, extend a pre-existing nonconformity. Several months ago, and part of that application was, this plan here where they, I'm sorry I didn't blow this up, but they indicated they were gonna add 2 small pieces of foundation to the property, and they were gonna knock the building down. I worked with them during the application process to determine that, yes, this was a substantially new construction, and it would require compliance with the current building code. But anyway, so.
We were just gonna, they were just gonna square off the existing structure, that's what they were gonna do, right?
That is correct, and there was
Yeah.
no indication, presented to this board that we were gonna knock the whole building down, or 2/3 of the building down and reconstruct the building, and that's where I said, wait a minute. We had an action, it had some bounding conditions on it that said we were gonna do A, B, and C, and we're now up to D, E, and F. It's a lakefront property, it's subject to a lot of scrutiny. They're taking the foundation down and digging a hole. Ran afoul of some stormwater management and lakefront issues, which they've been addressing with the Conservation Commission. And because of the extent of the change, it's my opinion that they needed to seek further relief from the board. They could have, when they came, and I am recommending to them throughout this process, that they did leave a piece of the building standing that may be questionable too, and I know for cost reasons, we don't wanna do more than we have to, but I would've, if I had foreseen that the building was in this bad of shape, I would've strongly recommended to them, just apply for a permit to remove the whole structure and start over again.
Right,
And if they didn't have to remove the whole structure and they could save part of it, well, they would have been fine.
right.
But when they exceeded the authority of the previous special permit, it puts us back before the board for confirmation of relief.
So you're not asking to change anything in what we originally granted in terms of the overall footprint, you're not asking to change that in any way?
That's correct.
Okay,
Just basically add the foundation in now.
okay. Yeah, this is the same,
Is the intent to leave what is left there and add on to it, or are you gonna knock the rest down?
No, like, that's why we went through whole new DEP number.
Okay.
Now we have like a long form RD, cause originally we had a RDA that's through conservation. Now we have like long form, so now we can basically pretty much do anything on the property as law requires, like if we remove, like we have, like, we're not restricted to like certain spots where we can work.
He's
Now we have,
he's
like-
speaking in terms of the Conservation Commission.
Yeah, but-
As far as
So
the
we-
building itself structurally, apparently there was an existing structure that had been added onto on both sides. So on one side, they put in a complete concrete foundation.
yeah,
On the other side, they put like part of a foundation and they just kind of built it on the dirt. And we're gonna be, the front wall, we've already called for this and this was presented last time, that we're gonna be reinforcing the area in the front wall because we're raising the elevation of the house. Again, I think topography was one of the issues that we mentioned in the original variance. So to do that, we would have to build on top of the existing foundation. We don't have to do that on the side wall, we only have to do that on the front wall, so that part gets reinforced. And that's the part where, on the front part of the structure, we're replacing that instead of buttressing it. Because we would have to build on top of what was there, and there's really nothing there that we could use. I mean, collapsed when we started the construction.
So you're looking at saving just the foundation of what's
We're saving
remaining.
that portion of the
I
foundation,
mean,
the concrete portion of the
We
foundation.
don't wanna like, at this point, I mean, the concrete foundation, like most likely is gonna stay,
Mhm.
but we're not exceeding the.
We're not
with the
changing-
foot-
Right,
we're
right,
not-
We're not
we're
changing
not-
the
I
footprint.
follow that you're
And I
not
just don't wanna
increasing
like
the
say something,
footprint.
and then we have to come back for another meeting just because we have to cut like maybe 2 foot of the concrete, just, if there's something in that section, cause we're already going through like one meeting, another meeting, and we.
Well, I think what he's
We
trying to
just wanna,
say,
we don't wanna say something and then we
I-
gotta go, oh, you didn't present this to a board,
I
'cause we
think
wanna be like,
what you're trying to say was that we've already had started the excavation with the permit that was issued, but I mean, at this point, it's been sitting there for 4 months, so if it falls over, I guess we're gonna have to fix that too. But we're not gonna change, we're still not gonna change the dimensions of the house. We haven't really changed the design of the house, other than now structurally, it's gonna be, you know, more secure than it would have been otherwise, but I mean,
And you're
basically.
doing a whole new foundation under it pretty much, cause the
We're
majority of it's
reinforcing the front,
gone.
we're keeping one side wall of the foundation, that's correct, so, at this point.
Yeah.
But that was, we had already proposed to replace the lake side or the north side foundation, and the parts of the addition, and then a portion of the east wall, about a little bit less than half
Yeah,
of
and
that.
what was it, stone before, you guys just removed it
It's
all
stone.
already?
There was some stone, there was some concrete, there
Yeah.
was some, you
Little bit of everything.
know, a
Yeah.
little bit of,
Okay.
and some stuff that wasn't there.
and like building inspector said, like you should, that's why we're back here, he said you should have done like exploratory work. And then like, that was pretty much, we could have basically got to the, like, in the first try, we should have got everything pretty much, but we didn't know that we can actually dig,
Well, I
we were
mean-
doing like, 'cause to find out, like, there was like, a lot of that stuff was hidden under the, subfloor, so we didn't know the condition of that's why, you know, it's not like we were like, trying to look, and we did submit the revised drawing, before we did any work, we submitted to the building inspector, amended work, we did amended our own work, so that's why we're, and we were just waiting for a reply, and the reply was like, guys, you gotta start over.
So, this isn't a case, Kurt, where this is something that they're trying to adhere to the spirit of our original grant. It's not like they've disregarded what the board has previously granted to them. The circumstances, changed when they started construction that exceeded what we had granted them.
I don't see this as a punitive, request. I see this as a request to make sure that they are working within the bounds of the previous
what was
grant. And
grant?
I
Yeah.
would say they exceeded the bounding conditions because of unknown conditions.
Right, not because they just disregarded the
Right.
previous grant. Okay.
So our setbacks and stuff, we've already voted on all that,
That would stay the same.
that would stay all the same, right, on the setbacks?
You know, you're not changing any of the setbacks or anything like that.
So I would suggest that maybe the board entertain a motion for a special permit to include, if needed,
Yeah,
removing any and all of the existing building and then replacing it with the plan shown,
yeah,
which does not further offend the setbacks
yeah,
nor exceed any variances granted under
already
the previous.
previously granted.
Well, the special permit would address whether or not it could be a negative impact on the character of the neighborhood. So
Correct. Yeah.
We have that already, but I mean, he's correct that
If
if we increase the size of the basement, I don't know if that's gonna change the character.
You're saying that it's gonna improve the neighborhood, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
well,
okay. I have butters, do you have people,
I live next door, I'm
Yeah.
at 52 Stevens Park, and I really just wanted to see what's going on.
so you don't have any comment or anything like
They've been
that?
Wonderful, I'm
Okay.
really friendly, yeah. so-
That's actually helpful to us, so if you
Yeah.
just wanted to state your name and say that,
Yeah,
that actually works.
Sure,
That
sure.
is helpful to the board.
My name is John Dorman.
Yeah.
52 Stevens Park Road.
Yeah,
I've been watching the work and seeing what they've been doing. Again, we've had friendly conversation. It doesn't seem like they're trying to do something that they shouldn't be doing,
okay,
so,
that's good to know.
yeah.
thank you.
No interest at all?
And nothing else to do on a Tuesday night.
Maybe talk to you.
We're gonna build eventually, and we want to just learn more.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you my card.
I don't think they like them.
My card's free.
So what do you guys think? Any issue on this? I think we would grant a
No.
special permit.
Yeah.
Yeah, any issue, no issue?
No, it seems
All
the
right.
hardship was as soon as they started digging.
You're right, in the circumstances.
There was
But we're
nothing
not-
there.
but they've already met, we've already granted them variances for all the setbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be just a special permit to,
Because the lot is under,
yeah, it's a special permit,
To remove the.
The lot
up
size.
to raising the entire structure and replacing it, according to the plan.
That's what I was confused by, because the application said variance, and I'm like,
It's really a
Yeah.
special permit.
Alright.
so
And then, the new proposed plan would not be, it would be in harmony with the neighborhood and not more detrimental than the existing.
I don't know if it's possible to amend the existing special permit, or whether you just have to issue another one.
I think we would just issue another one, I don't think
That's
that would be, worthwhile doing.
We
Alright.
don't have to add in our original setbacks, right?
They've already recorded that variance, so I don't think we need to do anything at all. I mean, we could probably put a note in the motion that this is in addition to, and not replacing our previous grant on September 2025.
April, right?
23?
No, September third.
Oh, September 3rd, no, okay.
Question we still need to file this special, is there still a 20-day appeal period?
Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah.
change, that's state law, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, that's according to
I
the
don't know if it was
statute.
different between the variance and the special permit.
Yeah, I think that, no, I don't think there's any difference, I think it's still a 20-day appeal period
Alright.
under chapter 48. Alright, so I'm gonna make the call of all, the different, so anybody from conservation have any comment? Town accountant, planning board, we've heard from the building inspector, zoning enforcement officer, town clerk, selectmen, assessors, town collector, board of health, economic development, senior center, police, fire, school committee, housing board, cemetery commission,
Association.
uh,
That's an association, that's not a board.
yeah,
Is that a town bylaw?
animal control. Ain't nobody.
No one.
I think that, I think I'm okay with granting this if we wanna end the
Yeah, I make a motion to end the public portion of this meeting.
second,
second. Is there a second on that?
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So we would just grant a special permit that would, to,
Removing or raising the
Up-
existing.
up to removing and raising the existing structure and replacing it with a new structure, including the foundation,
Based on the plans.
based on the plan that's submitted to the board.
Okay. And what about in addition to the, so how do we note that it's going to be in addition to what was already issued?
We would just say that this, this permit is in addition to, and does not negate the variance and special permit granted on September 3rd, 2025.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion, to issue a special permit, to remove, what's existing, if necessary, according to the plans, and this is in addition to the permit that was, special permit that was issued on, what was the date again, September
3rd, 2000.
September 3rd, 2025.
Right, and this permit is in, the proposed new structure is in harmony with the existing neighborhood and would not be more detrimental to what is existing right now. And it's it's up to completely raise and replace the existing structure and foundation.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. You have the 20 days, good luck.
Thank you.
Hopefully you get the boat on the water before June. So, May 19th, we'll look at these. These are in your packet. just kinda go through them.
More to read. That and the Mr. Burlington's.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, on the rules and the bylaws, there's a couple of things on these. If you read it, it's kind of a choppy thing. There's parts in it that like don't really, is this a proposed one or this is the existing one?
This is our existing one.
Yeah, there's some things in there that I definitely would wanna remove altogether, just like on appeals, read through the appeals process. Like there's things that it says that we have to do as a board on an appeal, like in terms of collecting evidence and how we do the findings of fact and things like that. And it's all backwards, it's not something that is practical in any way. So when we have,
read through it and mark it up and then.
yeah,
discuss
yeah,
it.
and we can just redo it.
That's why when I was reading through that other one and I was reading findings of facts, I was like, hold on, what, why is this?
Right, yeah, it is,
It's
So-
better to have it in the beginning.
so I mean, we really haven't had a really contentious appeal in a little while. But over the years, we've had, not many, probably less than 10. And then, we'll have 100 people in the room. And you'll have 50 people for something and 50 people against it. We've had to use the middle school and the town, and the top floor in the library a couple of times, that we've had that many people.
Had a few bangers.
Yeah, yeah, I've had people not happy with the decisions that we've made. It doesn't happen often, but in those scenarios, the rule, it's not that we don't follow the rules now, but some of the things that our decisions, like, it's just not, like, we don't have a lot of appeals. So, on those appeals, like, we just wanna make sure that the process that we use makes sense and obviously follows the law. Just for the board, and just kind of, when you're looking at it, just kind of pay a little bit closer attention to that.
So after we review this and make our edits to it, does it go by like town council for legality?
I would think that we probably wanna just have let's review any changes that we make to it.
Yeah.
And maybe any suggestions. If we do that, I think that we need to either make sure that there's funds in our budget to offset town council to look at it, or we have to talk to the administrator and make sure, get the okay to expend funds to do something like that. And Mr. Burlingame noted that we were, you're gonna talk to town council, but we don't normally do that.
Can I also reiterate to
Yeah.
the board, please, that no communication amongst each other regarding this? Like
Okay.
an email,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
why, has there been a problem with that?
No,
Oh,
no,
But is there a digital copy somewhere?
there is, it's on our, website right now.
so
Is it
my
easily
understanding is though, is that it can't, if there's 3 of us discussing this, it's a
Yes,
meeting.
That's exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
That's right, so, but,
that's all I'm trying to avoid, is that, it's just talked about like we are right now.
right, and so I don't know if comments were emailed to each other to review, whether that'd be considered a meeting or not.
Yes, that is something that we can't do.
Right.
So you guys will review this on your own, and then when we come back to the meeting, that's when all of the changes will be discussed, and then from there, I can take it.
Right, that's the way we do it anyways.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I figured, I just
Yeah.
wanna make sure.
I'll be emailing you late on Saturday night.
1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday.
I might come knock on
On
your
Easter.
door, now that I know you work at home.
As long as I'm not in the tree.
One of the guys one of the bosses that I have, he's like,
Oh, I didn't see the minutes from the last meeting.
we already voted on them,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Hi, guys, I'm sorry, I had,
I'll make a motion
I-
to adjourn.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.